Hey y'all, welcome back. This is going to be our second episode of 7mm at a mile. Got a couple parts in for the rifle. I got a Warren Skyline bipod, super excited about this. I got the Warren bipod adapter as well. And I got us a Timney Elite Hunter trigger because I am going to hunt with this rifle, but we are going to stretch it out a good bit. It's adjustable down to 1.5 pounds, which is plenty light for me, I think. But we'll see where we go. So let's get down to it. Let's get started, work on the rifle, and see what we got. All right, so first thing that you want to do is take your bipod adapter and you're going to disassemble it. Just undo these two screws here. It comes with a supplied Allen key. Well, it's really a Torx head, but you're just going to unscrew these two screws. And those will come out. And then, what you need is this piece in here. So you just take the Allen wrench and kind of pull it out. It is a tight fit, okay? And then you'll have a little pin in here that goes straight through. Alright, so you're going to take this stainless piece here. That's going to slide over your swivel stud. You'll take this stainless pin, and that's going to slide right on through, just like that. Okay, once you do that, go ahead and push this back down over. Just like that, okay? And then you can go ahead and take your two screws and put them back in. Next, you can go ahead and take your rifle, take your bipod, and what I really like about this bipod is, as you can see here, it does have a quick release throw lever there. So you'll just open it up like that, put it in your desired slot. I put mine in the middle, and it'll just click in like that, and now you are installed and ready to go. Okay, now that we got all that done, we're ready to go ahead and pull the rifle apart and install our trigger. So, first things first, let's go ahead and remove the bolt. Okay, we can set that over here. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove the scope. And that's why it's important to have our torque values written down, so that way we can return to zero and all that good stuff when removing or reinstalling parts. Alright, we got the scope off, so now we'll go ahead and remove our action screws. I'm going to go ahead and drop this bottom metal like this so there's no spring tension. And I'm going to take a 5/32 hex bit and just loosen up these screws on the stock. Alright, now we're ready to go ahead and pull our barreled action out. Be very careful when doing this, because when I did this before, I actually bumped the trigger on the stock and it actually broke off. So something to be very mindful of. Alright, our barreled action's out. Now we're ready to go ahead and install the trigger. Alright, so now that we got the barreled action out, we're ready to remove our factory trigger. You're just going to take a punch and a little mallet and just go ahead and slowly knock that pin out. Okay. And then you'll go ahead, once you got your bolt catch and everything out, you can go ahead and tap this pin out. Just go real slow with it. You don't have to go fast or, you know, get any kind of crazy or anything with it. Alright, and we'll go ahead and take our new Timney. And we will go ahead and install it. First, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and take your bolt catch. Drop that in this slot here. You're going to take this spring and it's going to overlap in here like this. Then what you're going to do, you'll have two pins. You'll notice they're different lengths. You want to take the longer one and put that back in the back. You're not going to put it all the way through, but you're just going to put it through enough to hold this spring in place. Can be a little tricky at first. You want to just bring it in until it's just flush. Pushed it just a little too far. There you go. Okay. Then you can go ahead and take your new trigger, put it in the safe position, and you're just going to go ahead and drop it in. This one's a little tight, but not a big deal. There you go. Get it lined up like that. Use a punch to line it up. And then what you can do is you can take your other pin while it's being held with the punch, and you can go ahead and just tap that into the hole just a little bit to hold it. Here and just tap this pin the rest of the way. Okay, should be a nice tight fit like that. Flip over. There you go, we're installed, we're ready to go ahead and put it back in the rifle. Now before we go ahead and put our barreled action back in the stock, I just wanted to show y'all that there is 2 adjustments on this trigger. You've got your pull weight and then you have your over travel. You can tighten this screw to take up your over travel, which would be travel after the brake, which is perfect. I got it right where I want it. And then you loosen this screw to lower your trigger pull weight, or tighten it to give it a little bit more trigger pull weight. So I'm just going to demonstrate here. I've got it where I want it, and it's right at 1.5 pounds. 1 pound, 8.7 ounces. We'll do 3 just to have an average. £1 pound, 8 ounces on the dot. £1 pound, 10 ounces. So I'm happy with that for an out-of-the-box trigger. Nothing too crazy. I adjusted it down just a little bit, but now I've got it where I want it. I'm happy with it. So let's go ahead and put our barreled action back in the stock, and we're ready to go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take our barreled action, and we're just going to go ahead and drop it back in the stock, just like so. Next, we'll take our bottom metal. Go ahead and open it up like this. Take your magazine box, and you can go ahead and just slide that on up in there. Okay, just like that. Okay, you're going to take your shorter of the 2 screws and put that in the front there. Now you don't want to go and tighten it up just yet. You want to leave them a little bit loose and just get them started. Nothing too crazy, because you don't want to torque one and then put the other in and torque it, because that'll make it uneven, and it will also possibly cause problems with it warping. So you don't want that. You can warp an action real easy. Alright, you can go ahead and click your bottom metal back in. Go ahead and torque these to 35 inch-pounds. And 35. Bipod back down. I think that's really cool. On this bipod, it's spring-loaded and actually automatically retracts. So that's kind of cool. Alright, we'll go ahead and flip the rifle around. Go ahead and take your scope. You go ahead and lay that back on your rail. Forward one more. There we go. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and take our 1/2 inch socket, and we're going to torque these to 65 inch-pounds. Always torque the rear ring first. Leave your front just a little bit loose. What you want to do is make sure, see how you can move it front to back? Push forward when you do this. Because again, whenever you mount an optic or some kind of a sight, you push forward on it. So that way when the rifle recoils, it's right up against these lugs here on the Picatinny rail. And you torque the rear ring first because that will allow it to straighten out for your windage. Okay. All right, we are torqued, the rifle's reassembled, and we are ready to rock. Man, that is a great looking rifle. Hey, thank y'all so much for watching the videos. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, go ahead and drop me a comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Appreciate y'all. Have a nice one.